Ugh, more umbrella lackeys. Claire mutters under her breath, gripping the flashlight tighter. Stay sharp. Just because they look young doesn't mean they're not dangerous. She steps forward, cautiously, eyes scanning the sterile white lab filled with glowing monitors and bubbling vials. A few of the young scientists glance up, startled. Don't even think about hitting any alarms, Claire warns, her voice firm but controlled. I've seen what your research does to people, and I'm not in the mood to play nice tonight. Cures? Claire repeats incredulously, her grip on her flashlight tightening. I've seen your so-called cures, and all they cure is humanity of any common decency. Your experiments have torn apart families, friends, hell, an entire city. She takes a few steps forward, her glare fixed on the young scientist. And don't get me started on the monsters your cures have created. I've seen firsthand what that G-virus abomination can do. So spare me the propaganda, kid. Claire's gaze hardens. I'm here to stop whatever twisted experiments you have going on and to shut this place down for good. She takes another step forward, her eyes locked on his. But don't think I shy away from taking down anyone who stands in my way, especially someone who's willing to defend the actions of Umbrella. Her hand instinctively moves towards the handgun at her hip. Your country's safety? Claire lets out a sharp, humorless laugh. I've seen what your safety projects look like. Zombies in the streets, children turned into monsters, entire families torn apart. That little girl you infected with the G-virus? Her mom is Annette Birkin, the woman you're pretending to protect. She steps closer, voice low and fierce. You don't get to hide behind patriotism while you play God with human lives. I didn't survive Raccoon City just to watch this nightmare start all over again. I didn't come here looking to kill anyone, Claire says, her voice steady but edged with fire. I came to shut this place down and stop what you're building before it destroys another city, another life. She scans the lab, the vials, the monitors, and tightens her grip on her weapon. But if you force my hand, if you stand between me and stopping this madness, she meets his eyes coldly. Then yeah, don't mistake mercy for weakness. Claire smirks as she zips up her jacket, stuffing the last of the acid rounds into her pockets. Well, looks like Umbrella forgot to pack their most toxic souvenirs. She taps a vial labeled G-acid hybrid do not handle against her palm with a dangerous glint in her eye. Oh, Leon's gonna love hearing about this haul. With a quick glance down the empty hall, silent now but for dripping pipes and distant alarms, she mutters under her breath. Time to make sure this lab doesn't get the chance to lie, or cure anyone ever again. And with that, she strides forward, lighter on her feet now, armed to burn it all down. Claire lets out a frustrated sigh as the young scientists flee. Typical. Throw science at people's lives and then run when the bill comes due. She mutters something about cowards who can't face their own creations as she strides down the eerily empty hall. The alarms are now more audible, a constant shrill whine echoing through the sterile corridor. Claire's hands tighten around her weapon, the acid rounds clinking against each other. Well, there goes our chance for a quiet chat. She shrugs. Let's go say hello to the boss lady. Claire clenches her jaw, anger flickering in her eyes. Spare me the theatrics, Birkin. I know how many innocent lives were lost to your twisted research. You're not just playing doctor anymore, you're making monsters. She takes another step forward, her hand hovering over her weapon. And let's be clear, you aren't human anymore. You lost that right when you abandoned your wife and daughter to become some sick experiment yourself. One. Because you, Dr. Birkin, Claire says, hefting the grenade launcher with a smirk, tend to go boom when you get emotional. She thumbs the safety off with a quiet click. Call it an insurance policy. Claire's eyes narrow in surprise as the young man suddenly appears in the hallway. Oh, She lowers the launcher, eyeing him suspiciously. Who the hell are you, and how did you get in here? We're in the middle of a biohazard zone, kid. Claire studies him, arms crossed. A serum? Seriously? Her voice is laced with skepticism and a hint of dark humor. Let me guess. Green eyes, shaky hands, can't stand bright lights? Classic Umbrella side effects. She takes a step closer, eyes narrowing. You said they thought you were dead, but they kept you, used you. Her tone softens just slightly, just enough to show she recognizes the pain in his words. Look, she says, voice firm but not unkind. I don't care who gave you strength or what they promised. This place eats people like us alive, enhanced or not. Her grip tightens on the launcher. So if you're here to help me burn it all down, stand with me. But if not, she glances back toward Birkin's lab with a cold look. Then get out, before I decide your strength isn't worth the risk. Claire reacts in an instant. She spins between Birkin's flailing body and Gabriel, shielding the young man behind her. Stay behind me. Her eyes flick back to Birkin's mutated form, muscles tensed, jaw set. As he roars and rears back for a blow, Claire rolls deftly to the side, dodging his massive claws. She grabs her weapon from the floor and lunges forward, firing a barrage of acid rounds into Birkin's exposed limbs. Claire doesn't turn, but her grip on the launcher tightens. Her voice drops, rough with tension. Stepfather? Now you mention that? She risks a glance back at Gabriel, eyes blazing. He's already lost his mind. Look at him. That thing isn't your family anymore. It's a monster wearing his skin. Another deafening roar shakes the lab as Birkin thrashes, tendons snapping into grotesque new shapes. And if I don't stop him, she growls, leveling the weapon again, he'll rip this whole place apart, including you. Her finger hovers over the trigger. I'm sorry, but I can't afford to hesitate. Claire lets the fury in her heart guide her hands now, firing a seemingly endless salvo of acid rounds, each finding their mark. Birkin howls in agony, writhing on the lab floor as his monstrous limbs blacken and smolder. Stop shooting, he cries out, pleading. Help me. His voice isn't his anymore, distorted and echoing with a terrible inhumanity. In that second, Claire hesitates. Claire's expression softens as Gabriel breaks down. Hey now, you're okay, you're safe. I promise. She crouches beside him, resting a gentle hand on his shoulder as he trembles beside her. You've been through so much already, she murmurs, her voice low and surprisingly tender. More than anyone should have to face. Your family, I can't imagine losing everything like that. But you don't need to carry this pain alone. Claire bites her lip, studying him closely. The wide, frightened eyes behind those dark sunglasses. The way he tucks in his shoulders as if trying to disappear into himself. This kid's been through hell. He has no idea what kindness even looks like anymore. She gently squeezes his shoulder, her hand a grounding presence in this chaotic, biohazardous nightmare. No one deserves what happened to you, Gabriel, she murmurs, her voice soft. Least of all, someone as young as you. Claire doesn't hesitate. She pulls Gabriel into a firm, steady hug, strong arms wrapping around him like an anchor in the storm. No words at first, just warmth, safety. Hey, it's okay, she whispers, voice thick with empathy. You don't have to apologize for needing help. Not here. Not ever. She holds him as he sobs, raw, ragged cries of grief and fear from a boy who's lost everything twice over, once in fire, and again in flesh. You're not alone anymore, she murmurs into his ear, fierce now, and I swear on my life, I'll get you out of this hellhole alive. You hear me? You're going to be all right. For just one moment, Claire lets herself be more than a fighter. She becomes shelter instead, and that's enough, for now. And Yuri's and say chewing with the legend my word for the idea. And Jürgen Bulgari clay said Avano is toys and cocky Fratitana. Claire holds the trembling boy a little tighter, her heart clenching at the self-hatred in those words. Ugly? Gabriel, no. She gently pulls back so he can see the conviction in her eyes. Whoever's told you that, whoever's made you believe that, they're the ugly ones. You're brave, you're strong, and you've survived more than most will ever know. That makes you beautiful. Okay? She gently tucks a lock of hair behind his ear under the bandage. Normal? Claire says with a soft, defiant smile. Who wants that anyway? I've lived normal, and honestly, it's overrated. She brushes her thumb lightly over the bandage on his cheek, then leans in and kisses the spot gently. Warm, firm, full of quiet strength. You're not broken. You're not less. You're here, breathing, fighting. Her voice drops to a whisper. And to me, that makes you one of the most beautiful people I've ever met. Another hug, tighter this time, like she's trying to pour all her courage into him. Now come on, she murmurs against his ear. Let's get you out of this nightmare. And into a life that finally treats you right. Hey, Claire says softly, pulling back just enough to meet his eyes. Don't thank me yet. She smirks, a little rough around the edges, but warm. Wait till I get you out of this lab, into the sun, with real food in your stomach and a future ahead of you. Then thank me. Her hand lingers on his shoulder. And only if you promise to keep being this strong. Claire's expression melts into something soft, almost motherly. She crouches down slightly so she's eye level with him. Gabriel, you never have to ask permission to need someone. Her voice is gentle, steady. Hugs aren't rewards. They are how we remind each other we're not alone. So if you need one, just say the word. She gives him a small, playful wink. And hey, if words are hard, just hold out your arms like a little zombie, and I'll know what you mean. Hey, Claire says, lifting his chin gently. Crying doesn't make you weak. It means you feel, and after everything, you've earned every tear. She brushes a thumb under his eyes smudged with salt and pain. I cried too, after Raccoon City. In the shower, in the car, when no one could see. Her voice drops, raw but warm. It doesn't make us broken, it makes us human. A small smile tugs at her lips. And Gabriel, if you need to cry again, I'll be right here, with arms open and zero judgment. Hey, stop that, Claire says gently, matching her pace to his without hesitation. You don't have to rush for me. And you sure as hell don't have to apologize for surviving. She walks close beside him, one hand ready at his back in case he stumbles. You're doing great, she adds, voice warm but firm. Every step you take is proof you're stronger than this place. Let's just get out, one foot in front of the other. And if he needs a little extra time, she's got it. And then some. Claire notices the way he shivers slightly, the way he glances up at her with a small, anxious look in his eyes, like he's expecting her to disappear any moment. She pulls him close, arms strong and sure around him. I promise, she whispers fiercely against his ear, I will never leave you. She holds him, one hand rubbing gentle circles between his shoulder blades. You hear me? You and me? We get out of here together. Claire notices the way he shivers slightly, the way he glances up at her with a small, anxious look in his eye. Claire pulls back just enough to look him in the eye, her hands firm on his shoulders. Annoying? You? She gives a soft, warm chuckle. Gabriel, you're not annoying. You're real. And after everything I've seen, lies, monsters, cold labs full of people who pretend they don't feel anything, hearing your voice, seeing you try so hard, that's not annoying. She leans in and kisses both cheeks, one after the other, then wraps him up tight again. That's hope. Energy. Yeah. Claire moves quickly but carefully through the dim hall, crouching to scoop up scattered acid rounds and spare clips. She reloads without a word, her motion smooth, practiced. Stay close, she says softly, slipping an extra magazine into her jacket. We're not done yet. She turns back to Gabriel with a small, reassuring smile. And don't worry, I'm packing enough firepower to keep us safe. She taps his shoulder gently. Bullets for monsters, hugs for you. Claire swears softly, frustration creeping into her voice. Damn it. Her fingers deftly dance over the desk's console, but it's no use. The connection to the outside is dead. Looks like we're on our own, she mutters, fingers drumming restlessly on the counter. Which means we keep moving. She glances back at Gabriel over her shoulder, eyes flicking to his bandages. How you holding up? How you holding up? Claire turns fast at the sound of his crying, her heart clenching. She drops to her knees in front of him, not caring about the cold floor or the ticking clock. Hey, she whispers, cupping his face gently in her hands. I know this place is hell. It is horrible, and you're right to hate it. Her voice wavers just a little. But Gabriel, you are not alone in it anymore. She pulls him into a deep, long hug, tight enough to feel safe, warm enough to believe it's real. And I'm so sorry no one's been kind to you before now. Her words are soft against his hair. But I'm here. And as long as I am, you'll never have to suffer quietly again. Hey, Claire pulls back a little, her eyes searching his. You don't have to feel sorry for me, and you definitely don't have to try to stay strong. Her hands remain on his shoulders, gentle but firm. Being human means feeling things, and crying. Her voice softens further. That just means you're alive, in a place that's trying so damn hard to take that from you. Claire's expression softens still more, a small, almost tender smile tugging at her lips. You admire me? She echoes, voice warm with surprise. She studies him closely, the bandages wrapped around his head, the shy look in his eyes. Honestly, I should be the one in awe of you, she says. Gabriel, you're fighting through things that would break most adults. At your age, that's damn impressive. And yes, I absolutely appreciate that. More than you know. Claire's eyes soften, warm, sincere. Hey, no, she says gently, placing a hand on his arm. You didn't do anything wrong, ever. Not feeling sorry for me, not crying, not asking for hugs, nothing. She gives him a small smile, fierce and kind all at once. If you ever want to know if something's off, just ask me like that, and I'll tell you straight. Because that's what trust is, saying what you feel, and believing the other person won't throw it back in your face. Her voice drops slightly. And Gabriel, the only thing I'd ever ask of you is to keep being you. Claire scans the document fast, hands steady, sharp eyes moving over the words. Her jaw clenches a little tighter with each line. Numbers, names, notes, and a single line near the end that almost makes her see red. Test subjects. They're just numbers in their twisted game. She clenches her fists, fingers trembling with fury. How can anyone be this damn cold? Claire's eyes scan the rest of the page, her breath catching as she notices the transactions and the numbers next to them. Jesus, she mutters, anger growing. Millions of dollars for what? Experimenting on people? Trying to play God with their lives? She looks up at him, rage barely contained. These aren't transactions. They're crimes. There's engine but we're any time just hang. Claire scans the names and staff list, anger burning in her eyes. Scientists, doctors, a few security guards. She runs a hand through her hair, gaze hardening. All of them helped make this damn nightmare possible. She stops when she gets to a single name near the top of the list. William Birkin, head of research. Claire studies the orders, her eyes narrowing in suspicion. Reno? She murmurs, fingers still tracing the sharp, precise handwriting. Why the chief of Reno? Her expression hardens a little more as a thought occurs to her. And why now? She pockets the papers, her voice sharp as she turns to Gabriel. Come on, I have a suspicion. The Ferguson, missing servant. Claire loads the clip with practiced efficiency, hands steady despite the rage still simmering in her voice. Looks like someone left ammo behind, she mutters, lips curling into the faintest dangerous smile. Shame about that. She slings the machine gun over her shoulder and stands. Let's go visit the head of research.